Man City have dominated the Premier League and have become a real powerhouse in football over the last 10 to 15 years. But with the recent allegations made against the club, is it all about to be stripped back off them? Are the treble winners going to face a triple relegation? All the questions we're going to answer in this video, starting with what have they allegedly done? Man City have been accused of 5 main types of rule breaches over a 9-year period starting in 2009. The rules they've broken are wordy and hard to understand, so we'll try and simplify them. The first rule they've broken is that they didn't provide honest and transparent financial information to the Premier League. This is supposed to show a true and fair picture of the club's financial status, including their income from sponsorships and their operating costs. Secondly, they didn't provide the full and clear information on the salary, bonus and benefits and buyout option of Roberto Mancini, as well as many of the players signed between 2010 and 2016. Thirdly, they broke UEFA FFP rules, which in itself is a Premier League FFP breach. City's Abu Dhabi ownership has disguised its own funding as independent sponsorship by the state's commercial companies. This initially resulted in a 2-year ban from the Champions League but was overturned, and instead they were fined. They also allegedly did not comply with the Premier League's regulations on profitability and sustainability, meaning over a 3-year period they lost more than £115 million allowable losses. This occurred from 2015 to 2018. And lastly, the final rule breach is that they haven't been cooperating nor assisting the Premier League's investigation. So what could the penalty be if they are found guilty of these rule breaches? Could we really see Haaland and co running around on League One pitches next year? In all honesty, it's hard to say exactly what is going to happen with this case, as this is the first case of its kind in the Premier League, and arguably sporting history. If the Premier League wanted to truly make an example out of City and warn off other clubs from following suit or even treading the line, they could really throw the book at them. This would include a fine of unlimited quantity, suspension of a club from playing in league matches, point deductions, replays of past matches, permanent expulsion. There's no limit to what they can and cannot do in terms of punishment. It's obvious then why there are doomsday reports floating about in regards to Manchester City. With Everton already receiving a points deduction for lesser issues, and the Toffees, along with Forest, looking likely to receive further punishment, you wouldn't blame a City fan for feeling a little anxious. The can of worms has truly been opened in the Premier League punishment circus this season. For us, however, the saving grace for City could be that it's not particularly beneficial for the Premier League to execute the best team in their league. Whilst they will, to an extent, look to punish them for breaking the rules, there is an element of cutting off their own nose to spite their face. The controversy it will cause is one thing, but the grey area over previous seasons and the disrepute of everything City has achieved will only look a mess for the greatest league in world football. Now, does this make it right? Is it fair for City to be handed a lighter punishment simply to save face? Of course not. But this is an extremely pragmatic world, and in a situation involving a club like City, who are the league's best hopes of European success these days, the Premier League will be careful to not leave any long-lasting effects for themselves. We as Sportonomics would be truly surprised if the punishment were to fit the crime. It's hard to see a world in which the book is thrown at the Premier League giants, and this is never going to be a question of right or wrong, but more the Premier League trying to solve this in a way in which the integrity of the competition remains, with the least amount of negative attention as possible. So whilst the possibilities are there, and the league have a real opportunity to make an example out of City and truly enforce FFP for the future, it would require a lot of courage, and we aren't sure the league has the backbone for it. If you learned something from this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing for more business in sports videos every single week. Bye for now.